What up, Kev? What's going on, man?
Man, feeling healthy.
Yeah, it's been quite a couple weeks for you, man. Like
A little bit.
you feeling good, man?
I'm feeling great. Best shape of my life.
Fair enough.
You know what fills me with joy during this joyful
What's that?
season? Seeing the
that?
comeback. Seeing the comeback.
What? Come back with what?
The pyramid hat.
Yeah, son. I had to bring the pyramid hat back for the end of the year show.
Like I never left you.
Well, last show of the year. Yeah, man. Yo, it's good, man. It feels like, you know what I mean?
You know what they say about
Like
this
an
time
old
of year,
friend.
right?
What's that? It's pyramid rap time.
It's time to do the knowledge.
This is when I listen to what's the Rascast joint with the Jack Frost sample?
Oh, that,
Season of the what is this season
Nature
of
of
the
the
threat?
Thre-
What is it
Nature
called?
of the Threat.
Nature
Yeah.
of the threat. Yeah, this is what you're supposed to do
oh yeah.
as a hip hop head around.
That's
this
what you
time.
do. Put
Kev.
some eggs in the pot, set that thing to boiling, and just play Nature of the Threat. And when the song's done, your eggs are ready, son.
Right? God, dog. I was like, so much knowledge.
Your eggs are smarter too. You're eating smarter eggs.
Smart eggs. Oh, yo. All right, did you see my Facebook post about how punchlines have ruined rap?
I
How
did.
people's thirst for punchlines are ruined. Okay.
I did. I was.
All right.
I'm tired of calling you to ask you what the hell you're talking about. So where did that come from?
Well, first of all,
busy
what's
for
your
that.
opinion on it?
I don't think I've heard a good punchline in about 20 years. So that's kind of where I was coming from in terms of my
Yeah, I thought.
perspective.
Dang, so it was just like, look, and punchlines is whack. So now what? Nah, so it's funny, man, because I clearly didn't make a clear statement, right? So I'm okay with the fact that people didn't respond.
That was the other thing. You kind of
it.
became that dude who makes the
Yeah, I did.
purposefully vague statement, just trying to be provocative.
I wasn't trying to be provocative. I'm sick of people and and I'm just no. It was no provocative nature whatsoever. I'm just tired of. All right, this was my point because people argue the ruined rap part more than the punchline part, which proved my point. All right, so here's my thing.
Okay.
If you relegate an art to only one particular color or one particular aspect, and you value that aspect, like, all right, you know, because that's what happened when it was punchline time, right? Like we got to this point where the only thing we would listen to, only rappers we cared about, were rappers with punchlines, right? And to me, it started to. There was a couple of smarter people in the post that mentioned how it kind of ruined songwriting. Other people talked about how it just kind of was, you know, some people felt like it was true. Some people felt like the ruined rap part was the part they couldn't get over. But like I told Fizz, rap is good now. Like, rap's not bad, right? Like, I'm not saying rap is trash. It's bad in the way that if you burn a steak, you can still eat it. That was my thing. Like, it's not like if you overcook a steak, it's not edible anymore. Like, yeah, fine. If I, you know, cut the ends off, they might actually be cooked well enough. But my point here is 2 points. One, as an art, it was like a street level art as much as it was a successful art. So you could go to Tower Records, you could get on the bus, in New York, I'm sure, the train, whatever, the front of the bodega, I don't know, whatever y'all be doing out there. Like, even the cat at the bodega had lines. Like, and it wasn't particular, right? The other point I'm making is, like, where are the songs? Because people are saying the rap is better now, or, well, one corny dude said rap was better now. And I got to take that back because my man Wise is not the corny dude. The other dude is corny. Wise, you my guy. But where are the songs that made you feel like, have the verses that made you feel like Pharoah Monch on Fudge Pudge, Pharoah Monch on Stress, Lauryn Hill on How Many Mics? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are those songs? Even Bushwick Bill on My mind is playing tricks on me. Where are the verses that hold without being like punchliney? You know what I mean? And I don't think that there are a ton of songs out there that are genuinely like that unless we go, because, people's genuine go-to, I'm like way long-winded on this, by the way, but people's genuine go-to is Kendrick Lamar. And I'm like, okay, well, of course, like we're talking probably the pinnacle of radio. But now start going down the line. Where are the alcoholics of this time? Where are the beat nuts of this time? Where's the organized confusion of this time? Where's the diggable planets of this time? Like where are, and then aside from that, where are the street level artists that may not make it? Where are the 5 o'clock and 4:30s of this time? Where are the, you know what I mean? Where you could just literally go to the mall right now and people are genuinely rapping because they enjoy rapping. Mm-hmm. Not because they want to get out to the people or to the public, but rap was like fun to do. And now it's been sort of diluted into you should only do it for a certain level of audience. If you're not doing it for a certain level of audience, you're not doing it. If you're a person who raps because you love it, you're a dirty, disgusting, less than human backpacker. Like all of those things to me ruin the art version of rap. All right, that's my whole point. There you go.
It's there. I realized I just quoted somebody in a post. Now I totally forget what it was, so I'm trying to look it up as we speak. But first of all, what are you doing trying to look for the beat nuts and whatever of our time?
Not sound like, though. I'm talking feeling like. There are some dope artists. Do not get me wrong, and I like, I'm going to go with some of the more common ones, obviously, like JID and Earth Gang. And man, I like them. They're not just dope. They're incredibly dope. Like Anakin Flywalker is another one. Like there are some dope rappers out there. Don't get me wrong at all. And there's probably a ton I don't know. But even of the dope ones, there's no "That's How It Is" by Casual right now. Because we wore down that to we relegated it to the punchline. It's like now we just want, it's like the dunk contest instead of the game now. I just want to see the guy dunk. And it's like, okay, well now you can't be mad when when you can't when
like
Kendrick Lamar is the only person that can play.
It's like what you posted this morning or whenever that was that you posted.
Same exact thing as part 2.
Highlight tapes, yeah. That which is the best way to phrase it is that if you're gonna have, it doesn't matter if you have the best handles in the world, if you can't take a good shot 90% of the time, or at least take a good shot 90% of the time, who cares? Who cares? Because at some level you're gonna get, you're gonna lose the ball. You know what I mean? And I just realized the person that I quoted was Bun B, so I don't think that fits.
Hey, but again, Bun B created.
Those are the people that I would quote is Bun B, Black Thought. These are all old dudes,
right?
Respectfully, even Pusha.
Right.
I like the Ab Soul record, but I didn't take that as like a punchline-y record. It was just I just enjoyed the record.
No, but that's the point. The Ab Soul record is a good record. Mm-hmm. It's a good record. We got to this point, and with all due respect to Ab-Soul and Kendrick and all of them, what we still have missing, even though they're great, even though there are a fair amount of dope artists, sifting through here or there, right? What we've lost is, what I'm saying is just the value of the art of rapping. We like the success. We like the, it's like the kind of, okay, in the same way golden era people say this was the best time ever. Now you have like people who don't know how to have a conversation. So they're like, well, rappers back then weren't really that good. And it's like, dude, listen, there were rappers in coffee shops rapping. They made whole scenes, literally opened up stores after hours so that people could come in and rap. You know what I mean? Like, the value of the art is gone to me.
I definitely think there's, and this is some old man stuff for sure, so I'm not even going to fight it, but, it's like being a great pitcher who and I'm not obviously not a baseball expert, but like the difference between Fernando Valenzuela in his first couple seasons versus like Nolan Ryan over the course of a career, where it's like if once they figure out your moves a little bit, you become, you go from having a good season to, have, it's a difference between a good season and a good career, I guess, or a difference between a good play, a great play, highlight reel play, and a great game, or, MVP season kind of, And there are cats who will have a great play on a song or two on their album, but it doesn't make it a great album. Might not even make it a great song. Individually. Yeah. So and
I mean,
that's the kind of thing that I think, with Black Thought, it's he's gonna break somebody's ankles, take a solid shot. If he misses the shot, he's grabbing the board, and then he's making the follow up. It's and then getting back on defense the way he always does. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of MC he is. That's the kind of MC Monch is. And quite a few other people that came up during our era. I think the criteria is different though now. You know what I mean? Like this guy's the greatest. There's a reason why we like Jid. It's because he sounds like old guys. I don't know if I know young people like him because he's one of the few young people whose shows I've been to, and I know I was the old guy in the room, so I know he has fans. But I don't know how they articulate their appreciation for him. You know what I mean? Like, I've just never taken the time to talk to them enough to know that. You know what I mean?
Dude, Jid is great. Jid is great. Jid is amazing. I've come across quite a few. The problem is that the quite a few that we're pointing out, it's not a scene because they, you know what I mean? They matter. If I pull up to a hip hop show today, and I don't mind being corrected on this, the energy of the hip hop show was it was something different. And we ruined that. What I'm trying to say is, as much as people were telling me and calling me out for old head energy, I wasn't talking about the younger generation ruining it. I was talking about us ruining it. So if people were like, yo, you just being old, I'm like, no, I'm saying you whack. I'm not saying they whack now. I'm saying the reason why this isn't palatable is because our generation was beyond idiotic about the value of the art. And now, after all of these dudes who weren't good enough to be the main artist are now strongly opinionated, now they're trying to devalue what the dope ones of our time did. You know what I mean? Oh, well, there were a bunch of whack records. Oh, yeah, there's whack records in every time. I mean, if you ask me, I wasn't there, but I would consider that the best time in R&B was when people were singing on stoops, when they were just singing to sing because they enjoyed singing. Now, a rapper that would be like me back then, his or her level of representing themselves is to put a record out. Right. But it wasn't like that. But we was rapping because we enjoyed it. And it was like you could go damn near anywhere. Me and Mike Myers, when I was on Mike Myers' show, that's what we talked about. Like, yo, there were in LA, dude, that time. And I know it was across the nation. I'm speaking about LA because I live there. So shut up about me talking about LA if you heard this, right? I didn't live anywhere else. Nigga, I'm talking about here. Excuse my language. Yo, everywhere. Melrose, Cypher. Foothill Transit bus out where I'm at, Cypher. Go to Pasadena, Old Sound, Cypher. When they opened City Walk, Cyphers. They had to break up Cyphers in the West Covina Mall. I seen them break them up in the Fox Hills Mall because they didn't know if they was fights or not. Everywhere you went, people were into the art. It was like literally like people breaking out canvases and painting everywhere because they loved painting so much. Where is that now?
Yeah. I don't, I guess I had a related question, which is we always took pride also in sort of, the underground, everything was underground to a certain extent, even the most popular rap because it was new. But our underground was underground. And I think we took pride in a certain, finding the next thing first and all that, it was harder to get a hold of new music than it is now. So that's at play as well. But like, you know, sometimes I feel like, am I just lazy because I'm not paying attention to what that, you know, or knowing where to go to find that new thing, or, you know, and furthermore, not particularly caring all that much about,
Sure.
you know,
Well,
like
we're
I
older.
learn a lot about new music from old people, which is not necessarily, you know, the recipe for expertise in any given arena. You know what I mean? Especially arts. So, yeah, what are you
Well,
gonna do?
yeah. I mean, what's on the surface is probably a little more, but I know a lot of the people are still searching for it, and to me that's part of the thing. You know, is people switched. And we got to move on, but people switched into the only way to validate it was to put it in front of the masses, and that's how it mattered. But artists were fine tuning, or you know, it's what DJing has never lost to me. Okay, you can say, oh well, DJing fell off because, you know, the crowd doesn't want to listen to me scratch for 40 minutes at a club. It's like, dude, that's dumb. No one at any club wants to hear me go a cappella for 20 minutes when they trying to dance. Like, that doesn't mean the art is lost. You know what I'm saying? There's an art in playing the right song at the right time, keeping a vibe, keeping the energy. That's part of an art to DJing. But if I go on Twitch right now, I guarantee you I could find a video where somebody is flexing and people are like, yo, that's how you rock that. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you the volume of people I can find flexing as DJs is higher than the volume I can find people flexing as MCs. Just flexing. You know, we just had a conversation on the show, and we sort of agree where, you know, I don't freestyle. What did dude say? He doesn't freestyle because why? Like, why? You know, and I'm like, okay, I agree with his premise, but I'm also like, because you love it, because you couldn't wait to do it.
Well, that was,
you know what I mean?
That was another thing when you were talking about the ciphers everywhere. It wasn't just ciphers everywhere, but everyone who was standing there, whether they were known MCs or not, I felt a pressure that any moment someone was going to call you out to have to rap, even if you sucked.
Even if you sucked.
And even the dude who sucked, who had the balls to get up and spit something, was doper than a lot of stuff I hear now, that's the kind of thing that, and there's that energy, right? It's like, because if you could spit 4 lines that happened to rhyme and came off somewhat decent, that's a high that's going to last you for the rest of the summer.
Right.
Yeah.
That time
and your friends
it.
will come up. Yeah. Remember that one time you did it? You'll whack after that,
man.
but that one day.
People were making careers. Not the Jism, my man. Shout out to my man. Not the Jism was whack by any stretch of the imagination, but his freestyle ended up being a Nike commercial. The Air Tenacity joint. Like, that was him. That was like the Blue Blockers do. Like, literally out on the street rhyming and ended up being, you know, like, so I don't know. It's just one of those things where people took that immediately and was like, old rappers, fan. Look, the Gravediggers was trash to me. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of old stuff that was whack that y'all was loving.
Greatest album ever.
Right. I'm not saying that. Like, I could find 40 albums right now from Nelly's cousins that were better than that Gravediggers record. My point is not that young people ruin the art. Young people are doing what's available to them and what is acceptable in a sense. And it became unacceptable to rhyme to rhyme without punchlines. Like, weaving in and out of rhymes cleverly became like, where's the punchline? All right. We spent 20 minutes on that. I loved every minute of it too, because all of it was a shout out to Fizz. Yo, Kev, man, let's get to the other side. We got a couple things to talk about, so let's do this. You ready, man?
Yep.
We back for 1 week only. Who knows if we'll be on next week? Let's go.
We won't.
Rap Sucks Radio. Blah, 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 blah.
What up, y'all? You were live on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Trek Life and your fam, Kev Sakota.
Binax Life with your boy Binax Headroom.
Where are we going?
Hopefully not back to the hospital.
Hopefully.
By the way, speaking of old hen energy, you know what's bothering me?
What's that?
What's up with the crease at the top of your pyramid hat? You look like Fidel Castro. That's a little better.
Wow.
What's going on there? It's wrinkled.
Fidel Castro. Yeah, it's wrinkled. It just came out of the closet. You know what I mean? It needs a couple of wears, man. It needs,
Yuck.
I've got to listen to I Got You Open a couple times. It'll reshape. You know what I mean? If I listen to Boot Camp Click, and then if I go skip over, listen to a couple of Helter Skelter records, it'll reshape.
Was it the hair? Was it the old
Probably
hair?
so.
Old hair energy?
No, because I had a fade back then. It's probably the hat, the style of the hat. Oh, yo, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you'd like to catch past episodes of Rap Sucks Radio, you can go to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. And if you'd like to catch us on your television, go to BTSN, that's Behind the Scenes Network. What you do is you download the app or channel or on any of your Roku or Amazon Fire devices. Click on that app or channel, and we are there with plenty of other dope content. BTSN, Behind the Scenes Network. We want in. And you can also catch us on Instagram at Rap Sucks Radio and on Facebook, RSR Podcast. All right.
Yep.
Let's go. All right. So episode title is True Power Don't Power Trip. Not as clever or fun, not as fun as all the last ones. But topic title is Kev, when the rabbit has the gun and is also an asshole. Right? So Elon Musk says he will resign as Twitter CEO once he finds a replacement. The source for this is NPR.com. The players involved are the thumb thug master, Elon Musk. All right, let's get into this. Billionaire Elon Musk says he will step down as chief executive of Twitter as soon as finds someone foolish enough to succeed him. In a tweet on whatever day that was, Musk confirmed that he is searching for a replacement and did not give a timeline for the process. His tweet comes 2 days after he launched a poll on a social network in which the majority of respondents voted for his ouster. People want him to not be running Twitter anymore. Even when Musk finds a new person to head Twitter, he actually will still be the owner and ultimate decision maker at the company. Musk indicated as much in his tweet, Kev, saying he would, quote, just run the software and server teams, unquote. And last month, he told Twitter employees the company would become, quote, a software and server company, unquote, under his ownership. After Musk received immediate blowback for suspending the Twitter accounts of several journalists, this is actually probably more the point of the topic that we should discuss, the billionaire took to his platform Sunday to pose the question, should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the result of this poll. Some 17 million voted in the unscientific poll, and nearly 58% of the votes supported Musk stepping down as CEO. Kev, bounce pass over to you.
I don't care about any of this.
Wow.
I
That
don't.
is awesome.
You know why?
Why?
I enjoy watching it burn to the ground. It's not like watching a burning building where people may actually be in danger and, people's personal physical safety might be in danger. All the so-called good people already got fired. Even some potentially good people that he brought in to help fix things have already left. I don't care about journalists. They're going to be fine. Half of the journalists, so-called journalists who are on Twitter are full of it anyway.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. I enjoy logging on once in a while. I don't even log on. I just lurk and watch how bad it is, and it makes my day for about 5 minutes, and then I leave.
Can I make an overstatement to make this a house on fire?
More than me? Yeah, sure.
Okay. I've thought about this quite a bit. This was one of the topics I wanted to discuss while we were on break or whatever. So I decided to go back to Twitter after this all happened under the, Trek Life will not disparage a person without genuinely checking out, checking out what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Twitter has been, if anything else, outside of a worldwide idiotic comment section, it has been very valuable in times of crisis for people being able to speak with their own voice, as opposed to us picking up a newspaper or opening an article and hearing it through a third party. Mm-hmm. But it's also been an excellent media outlet. Now, I'm like you. I don't particularly – I thought one of the things that Elon Musk said that I was like, well, he ain't really tripping. When he said, journalists think they're better than everyone else, I was like, that might have been he might have kind of spit some – that might have been a punchline. Right, that might have been one of them punchlines that as you know me, especially sports journalists, like, God dog, these dudes and women believe that they are like the greatest human beings in relative comparison to everyone else. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, this whole thing was about free speech, wasn't it?
Well, and that's where he's full of it. I'm not defending that dude at all. He's just, how are you going to be that rich and that smart? And I still believe he's smart, whatever. Mm-hmm. Which is IQ points, not social intelligence necessarily or anything like that. I still think he's smart. But how can you be that rich and that smart and do something so stupid? Just not the move of whatever he did and decisions he made while in charge of Twitter, but just getting involved at all.
Well, but it's that thing that we talk about on Rap 6 Radio on a regular basis. Look,
to let your ego be in so control of the rest of you that you.
But we talked about this though. I understand. You're right, but we talked about this. We talked about how social media has been the clapback machine for people to talk bad or down about celebrities or rich people, and their voice matter. In the 80s, if you were to mention that, okay, I'm glad Magic Johnson's okay, but he did kind of cheat on his lady, though, and that's kind of whack, right? People would be like, hey, man, be quiet. That's Magic Johnson. Shut up, right? Now you can say that. And look, it's his personal, private business, but you can mention that as a sort of, is Magic Johnson the greatest guy? Well, here's some argument, right? But I've always thought, and I think we talked about it on the show multiple times, what happens when the rich dude buys the social media and gets involved? Like Zuckerberg owns Facebook, but he's not clapping back on Facebook. Mm-hmm. He's not responding to the messages. Elon Musk is literally starting fires on his own platform. Like, you know what? I'm here for beef. I bought this because y'all was talking trash, and now I'm about to talk right. I'm gonna own this joint. So it's, what if the rich dude buys the platform? What would happen? And this is exactly what people feared, that he would turn it into something like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it's like if Dana White was in the ring every week, and if somebody laid a finger on him, he decided to kick him out of the entire league altogether for the rest of his life.
Exactly.
Like, well,
exactly.
Then you're definitely full of it. Whatever. Whatever. These idiots.
I only care because it wasn't until I actually had this fear that Donald Trump would find a way to buy Twitter. That years ago, that was my fear. Like, mm-hmm. He's going to get a group of people together and somehow own this thing. Like,
the same thing would happen, though. It would be the same thing. There's still a delicate balance, I think, or state of equilibrium that Twitter was in, and that means that some people, mathematically, at least half of the people are not going to like whatever's going on at any given point in time. But if there's a balance to it, then they're going to stick around to find out what happens next. That's all. That's just like everything else in the world, Like pyramid hats were super popular for a while, and then
pyramid hats
kind of leveled off.
I don't know what those questions is. If more rappers wore pyramid hats, we wouldn't have to have the 20-minute conversation we just had.
We would have saved ourselves 20 minutes. Could have written. Fair enough. I could have written 20 minutes worth of raps. I could have listened to Nature of the Threat twice.
Twice? Like 1.1 times. Dude, is that the longest song in here? That song was longer than 5 minutes of funk. Which, right? Like 5 minutes of funk.
Did it ever bother you that 5 minutes of funk was not exactly 5 minutes long?
what was it, like 24 minutes? Like that 5 minutes of fuck was long as hell. I was like, yo.
Fake news. You know what?
Either that or it felt
the
long.
worst thing is that, especially since this Meg trial has been going on, all the little wannabe pundits or whatever commentariat is chiming in about the case. Like, first of all, that's not your business. It's not my business.
Nope.
I don't care. But you look like a jackass. You know, really.
Yeah.
And I don't, there's not a both sides to it, because the young lady got shot. Period. She got a bullet in her foot. Period.
Mm-hmm.
The case is to figure out what happened, or to try to, and assign some responsibility. But you talking with your thumbs is just corny and goofy, and I don't get it. I do not understand it at all. She doesn't need my defense. She doesn't need me to defend her. There's only two female human beings in this world that I would have any need to defend immediately, with any immediacy.
Well, three.
And she ain't one of them. But yeah,
I would say the three. You have a sister.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she could take care of herself.
She can hold her own.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yes. But
But yeah, you goofballs, especially the dudes, get out of here. Shut up.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's one giant comment section. That's really what it is, right?
Yeah,
like, so,
gross.
Yeah, you can say just about anything, even a good thing, right? Such and such has a child that survived cancer, and somewhere people will be like, well, but he missed that open 3-pointer in Game 5 of the playoffs, so does his child really deserve to live? You'd be like, all right. And you also have, people antagonizing the acting as adults, but they're not really adults. Like, I'm convinced that 13-year-olds are just logging on, saying the worst thing they could possibly say, and then watching the whole thing fall into flames. So, but that's the worst of it, and probably the majority of it. But the positive parts of it have been pretty positive. People have been able to tell their own story. People have been able to explain things that otherwise they would have no voice in explaining. Movements and call to arms types of movements have happened over Twitter. Like, Twitter has actually been a relatively important platform, outlet in its brief existence, right? Relative to our lifetime, brief existence. And it seems like the idea of not controlling it is actually controlling it. If I buy Twitter and everybody's talking trash about Track Life, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna own Twitter just to show y'all what it would be like if people free thought was free thought, I wouldn't say a word on Twitter. Mm-hmm. That would be the thing. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna open it up for everybody to speak their piece. And then I'm out.
That's pretty much that's what Jack did, more or less, I would think, almost to a fault. Him and Zuckerberg, and there's plenty of things to probably to take issue with in terms of how they ran their companies. But you know what it is, though, dude? It's, and this is certainly not to disagree with your point about Twitter having been a venue for certain positive movements and activity and discussion and conversation, but it's really about the conversation. It's like saying Unity wasn't the same after they moved it out of that warehouse in downtown LA and over to the place with the bull in the basement, and over to El Hacienda, or over to the Palace or the Avalon, whatever the hell it was called. It's not about the venue. You could buy the venue. Someone owned the venue. Right. It wasn't any of us. It wasn't. Right. It wasn't Bill. It wasn't Orlando. It wasn't Mark. It wasn't anybody. Right? Someone else owned the venue, but we made Unity. I mean, they made Unity. But it was all, it was our thing because of all the hard work they did. It had nothing to do with the dude who owned the venue. That's why the person who owns the venue, it should be inconsequential. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if something happened, I would assume at some point
to their venue. Yeah.
Unity got kicked out of some place, said, well, we don't want to do that anymore,
Yeah.
But the party kept going because that desire to be in that place together was always consistent, right? And I say that to say that, whether it's Twitter or any of these other millions of social media, similar kind of venues that have popped up, no matter what it is, the desire to have that level of communication and immediate discourse is always going to be there. You know what I mean? So there will be, whether it ends up being Twitter or someplace else, it doesn't matter. I think it's gonna still happen. We now have you can't put that back in the bottle. It's like people want to have that. They're going to find it. You can say that Facebook is for old people, and you're right. But
for the most part, sure.
It's a place where people is just like, I know who I'm going to find there. I know who I'm not going to find there. I know how to, control some of that if I need to. Cool. I also, I think people who are on Facebook probably just generally need that immediate reaction on the whole, less than the people who are on Twitter, who are on it all day, every day, heavy,
Yeah, I feel like, and I've said this before on the show, like Facebook is a place more for conversation. All of them have threads, but the aesthetic, the view of it, the way that it works is to have a conversation about your point. Now you go to Facebook videos or whatever, and it's the same, right? Like, you post a picture of your family or something about you and your family loving each other, and they're like, I'm probably cheating on him. That's why you look stupid. That's why your mama's dumb. Like, that's more like Twitter. But our general account interaction is there. I also find that if you attempt to have a reasonable or intellectual conversation on Twitter, it's too much.
Yeah,
Just say, I like cats, and people are like, fuck cats. I love cats. Dogs are, did you know that dogs were invented before cat? Like, whatever. God is dog spelled backwards because dogs are really God. Like, you'll just get all of the whatever. If you just
what my rule is?
Statement.
I'll share my rule. And if you want to follow it in 2023, I think it will lead a healthier life. If you look at any social media venue, any social media property, you log on for the day, you start scrolling. The second that you say, why? As in, why did you feel the need to say that? Then just leave.
Quit. Log off.
Swipe it. Yeah.
It's a good one.
You're done. You're good.
I feel like the better rule is don't read the comments. No, I mean, I'm just being honest. If I'm going, unless it's like within your friend circle on Facebook, right? But I don't even read the comments on 95% of the friends of mine that post, or quote unquote friends. I'm not reading those comments. If it's Omega, I'll read the comments. If it's Fizz, I'll read the comments. Those are people that I know from a distance. Maybe Wise, maybe William Ketchup, but 95%, I'm not reading. I know what y'all on.
I realize is that Fizz finds just a solid way to diss you. No matter what, you could say, I love cats, and Fizz will.
It never works. It never works.
Fizz will get you.
He tries. It's crazy, right? It's like Fizz is like the dude who threw a shoe at George Bush, but constantly.
So you're George Bush?
And in this case, I would be George Bush with regard to dodging the shoe so brilliantly every single time he throws it. I'm like, but that is, I step up to the podium to make a statement, and Fizz throws a shoe. That's how this works. All right, man. I personally think that just to kind of conclude my thoughts, and I think that his plan is to move Twitter out of California. 2, into Texas. 2, I think that for what it's worth, quote unquote, his actions are dangerous relative to the platform he now owns. Quote, dangerous, unquote.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's my thing. And it's weighed on me because I don't want the rich dude to be like, and I understand all media platforms are owned by, but be out of it. You know what I mean? But his need to control it to me is dangerous. And I hope he does step down.
I look at it as like Game of Thrones, for example. Mm-hmm. To show that if I was in a vacuum, I would feel absolutely no desire to watch Game of Thrones. At any point in time, from start to end, I never would have felt even the slightest pressure to need to watch that show. But I started watching it. And once I started watching it, I wanted to watch all of it. I genuinely was like, all right. No. But when it was over, I was just fine with it being gone. And I knew I certainly am not watching this new thing, whatever it is, no matter how good or bad it is.
Me neither. Me neither.
And that's how I feel about any social media platform. If it were to go away tomorrow, I'm fine with that.
I think I can agree with that. I'm similar. I'm okay with that. But I do understand the loss of voice. But whatever for me, all of these conversations don't affect me as greatly as they affect others. That's the thing about when we have these conversations on Rhapsody Radio, and it's like, well, I'm gonna be all right, but I don't know. I think it's dangerous. All right. Anyway,
you know, when you were in school and the teacher said, "Oh, you ruined it for everybody," to that one kid who always ruined it for everybody.
True.
Some people would get super mad at that kid, and then me, I'd be like, "Yeah, he did." It was always a he. Yeah, he did. Okay.
9 times out of 10 it is. Yeah.
He did. He made everyone's life a little bit worse. But whatever.
9 times out of 10 it was me as well, by the way. It wasn't just he. 9 times out of 10 it was me.
But everything kept going.
Yeah. Hey, yo, before we move any further on, and I want to say this at the end of the show and in the beginning, but I just want to say this because yo, Mr. Suge and Track Life Show, shout out to my man, Mr. Suge. He lost his father, Griff. I just wanted to make sure that I brought this up about the idea of it takes a village to raise a child, right? And what that means relative to his father passing, at least for me. Griff echoed what my parents were saying. Right, that's a village to me. You hear the right thing, and then it's echoed and repeated, by people who care enough about you to not only be concerned with their children's well-being, but your own. And that was him for me. He was that extended male influence, positive male influence that echoed the things that my parents were trying to teach me, so that when I was outside of their view, he was standing there to say, yo, nah, you still need to carry yourself with those same principles. And those principles are lost when the echo changes. If somebody says, yo, work hard in school, go to college, and, get a job or whatever the general statement is, and then you start to go outside and somebody else is like, nah, sell drugs and shoot people in the face, you start to change or muddy up the message, but that message was never muddied for me because I had people like Suge's father in my life. So rest in peace, and I'm very thankful to have known him. Just want to throw that out there. Wow. And much love to Suge, man. We got you.
Much love to Mr. Suge. Yes, and rest in peace. It was very sad to hear.
Yeah, word up. All right, so. Switching to a topic I actually know that Suge would love. The title of this topic is the quote, friendly, unquote, skies. Yo, God, this topic's so stupid. All right. Pilot threatens to turn plane around if passenger continues to airdrop nudes. The source for this is LAD Bible. Huh.
Okay. I want you to, let me make sure that I'm not messing this up here. Now you're gonna play the pilot. Can you read the quote that is quoted in the right under the video here. The first quote from the pilot.
Okay. The whatever that airdrop thing is, quote? Or we're going to have to. I don't have the image in front of me.
Oh, no. It's in the article. The whole strange announcement was captured on video by a passenger who filmed the pilot, stating that he'd have to...
Why am I not seeing that part? Okay, there we go. Stating that he had to pull back into the gate and everybody's going to have to get off.
We're trying.
Oh, that's exactly a fact. That is exactly a fact. The pilot threatened to turn the plane around, Kevin, and end everyone's holiday before it began if they didn't stop sending nude photographs via airdrop. The whole strange announcement, like you said, was captured on by a passenger who filmed the pilot stating that he'd have to pull back into the gate and everybody's going to have to get off. Now,
he wasn't getting what he was looking for, I assume.
Well, for years we've complained there are no black pilots. In Spirit, this is the blackest pilot I've ever heard of. I will turn this plane around if y'all don't stop what he called that airdrop thing. What in the Black Father? If y'all don't stop that airdrop thing, I'll turn this whole plane around on y'all. Everybody have to get off. You don't know what's up with, boy. Stop playing.
What are you looking for?
Stop. All right, listen. The pilot said we're going to have to get security involved. So we've got Black Parent. We've got Karen now. The rest of the video, which has since been viewed by more than 2 million times, the aircraft's captain said that everyone's... Dog, this dude was black. Everyone's vacation going to be ruined. Come on, Kev. Let's go.
Ow, quit it. Ow, quit it.
I'm a fan, yo.
That is great. That's fantastic. It said that, let's get yourselves to Cabo.
Kev.
Said, whatever that airdrop thing is, quit sending naked pictures and let's get yourselves to Cabo. What I feel like Ted Cruz started it.
Man, look, this is the image I get of him. Either a Southern man, right? Uh-huh. Either a white Southern man or a black man that looks like Rock. Remember the character Rock?
Oh, yeah, Charles Dutton.
Yeah. I've pictured Charles Dutton. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or Bernie Mac.
Ooh.
Or Robin Harris. I picture these are all of the things that are running through my mind. You know what I mean? Listen, whatever that airdrop thing is, like I'm repeating this because I need to put some stank on, because these are the things that they left out, right? Mm-hmm. Man, listen. Hey, man, check this out. Whatever that airdrop thing is. Quit sending naked pictures and let's get yourselves caught. Yourselves is not at yourselves. I haven't watched the video, so I don't know. I'm doing too much, but yeah, man. Like in the long run, you know, a passenger said, you know, it was giving off major dad vibes, which I agree with. Another passenger said it's like a school bus driver with a bunch of rowdy kids. The other passenger said, if he doesn't like something, that's his choice, right? Saying the pilot has the ultimate authority. Another viewer lamented, remember when people didn't need to talk to adults like they were children? No, I don't remember that, by the way. I do not ever remember a time in my lifetime, even as a child, where there wasn't situations that I can recall where adults didn't have to talk to other adults like they was their damn kids. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I've eaten at Popeyes.
And if you're worried about your child getting ensnared in this web of nudity, why does your kid have a phone? Ask yourself that.
Come on, man. Why does your kid have a phone? Hey, man, who But let's get to the point. We missing it. Who airdrops nude pictures? Is that happening? Like, this is me now. I'm the pilot. What is this airdrop thing? And what are y'all doing right now? Come on, man. Like, get to the house or wherever you're going and open up incognito view and watch like a normal person.
Yeah.
But don't.
None of these passengers is Ansel Adams or something taking high quality photos of their junk. If these images are captured while they're, taxiing for an hour and a half at Newark Airport, nothing good is coming of those photos.
Man, the last thing I want to do is be in that seat getting nude pictures from my wife so that I could sit in that seat and know what I can't be doing because I'm sitting here. I mean, come on, man. I'm sorry. I'll be so mad. Like, yo.
You're just causing trouble. You lean over to her. It's like, did you just send this to me? No. Who did? The pilot? I don't know.
I'm like, it's a picture of you. Who got the pictures of you then? Talk about who sent it. Yeah, me and the pilot got a problem. Now we got all sorts of black problems on this plane. Now I got to figure out.
The pilot has the same tattoo as you,
right? Yes, this conversation just went so south. But yeah, man, I'm lost. It's like I'm lost on, and we got to close this show out. But I'm lost, and I will not be found on. When I'm told by women or read that dudes send them dick pics. I'm like, but what now? When a woman tells me like that her inbox is full of pictures of men's junk, that unsolicited pictures, I'm like,
you're not going to victim shame, are you?
What dude would? Why would you do that?
I don't know who the victim is in that scenario, but hey, airdrop.
Why would you?
Drop top.
You know what? Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Airdrop, drop top. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Look, we're glad to be back, but New Year is coming, and how the usual thing goes. We probably gonna chill for a little bit, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But if you'd like to catch past episodes of Rap Slicks Radio, you can go to rapslicksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. You can watch us live on BTSN Behind the Scenes Network. Download the app on your Roku or any of your Amazon Fire devices. Click on that Apple channel, and we are right there with plenty of other dope content. BTSN Behind the Scenes Network, we want in. And you can also catch us on Instagram at Rap Slicks Radio and on Facebook at RSR Podcast. Excuse me. The original RSR Podcast, by the way. Just to be clear.
Original recipe.
You guys have a wonderful holiday. Hopefully you guys get to spend some time with your family. Everybody, Northeast, stay warm. I guess Southeast and Southwest too. All of y'all outside of California, y'all stay warm. We good. Y'all figure it out.
Boy,
yes, I mean, some one turn. Sometimes
trade-off. Everything is a trade-off, man.
Everything is. Agreed. But yeah, man, we'll holler at y'all. Kevin, man, you good? You got anything to say before we check out of here? Because this might be the last show of the year, man.
Happy Christmas. Merry New Year.
Y'all don't be airdropping them pictures on the plane, man. Come on, y'all.
Beef jerky?
I ain't judging y'all, man. I'm not. It's not judgment. This isn't a. I'm just saying. Come on, man.
I can't wait till Tom Hanks is going to play that pilot in the movie version.
Denzel. It's got to be Denzel. All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all next time. I'll holler at y'all, man. I am Track Life. That over there is your fam, Kev Dakota. We are out of here like last year. Count of three. We say peace. 1, 2, 3.
Peace.